So what do we got here?
We got chopped barbecue, fresh off the grill last night.
Sounds good.
Go down to little beans, go along with it.
Please.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Bud, you want some good old beans?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, we got it. Here we go. If you want a little bit more, just tell me.
Sounds good.
If you don't like it, you get a full refund.
Thank you.
No problem. Sausage job?
Sure.
You want sauerkraut on it?
Yes, please. Can you give me that burnt one right there?
Right here?
Yeah.
Man, that's my heart. I like the burnt.
There'd be an option everywhere, burnt hot dog.
Yeah, exactly.
So today I am hunting down the dealer rep for Grand Design because I want to ask him some questions about some of his coaches. I want him to have an opportunity to talk about the difference between Grand Design, but then I also want to talk to him about some concerns I have related to half-ton towability. So you're going to want to watch this video. Hang tight. So I am with Paul Laux with Grand Design. He represents the Imagine, the Reflection, and the brand new Transcend lineup from the Grand Design line. And I wanted to talk to him a little bit about the Grand Design difference, because there are some differences between how Grand Design not only designs the interior of their RVs, how they lay them out, but more importantly, before it ever even gets to this dealership, what they do to ensure it's a quality product. Paul? Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So tell me why Grand Design has become such a successful brand, but also what the difference is.
Well, there's really kind of a couple different tiers or buckets I feel that set us apart. Number one would be really the ultimate goal of any business is the customer service. Some put a lot more focus on that than others, and we feel at Grand Design that we put a lot of central focus on that. When we started our company, one of our first hires was a VP of Service Operations. And normally that would be coming after the fact. You usually want to get something going that's going to generate some revenue and profitability. And the owners of the company had already been through, different transitions in different companies where they had done that. So they wanted to try it a little bit different to mutually benefit the customer with the dealer in mind as well. So one of the things that we do, like you mentioned, that before this lands, it's already gone through a rigorous PDI testing. We do every single unit that's built by Grand Design. Since day one, we do a multi-point PDI inspection, pre-delivery inspection. So that's, I think at this point now, we're right around 280, 285 points of inspection. That's something that no other manufacturer is doing. So, that the normal flow of things is to do a product assembly line. Mm-hmm. You're doing multi-point inspections along the line. You do a final finish, just kind of sweep through, make sure everything's good, and then it ships to the dealer. Now, if a slide's not working, if a fridge wasn't tested, if an air conditioner, furnace, so on and so forth, isn't operating to its standard, then the dealer gets the unit and they have to deal with the last several feet of the assembly line. So what we do at Grand Design, we do all of the multi-point inspections. We do the final finish inspection, and then we send it to a separate team that does the PDI testing. Mm-hmm. So they're still a Grand Design employee, but they're hired in. They're independent or separate of production, which means they're not going to be the guy that's finishing the install of the cabinet door and then going over and saying, "Oh yeah, I already checked that; it's good." Mm-hmm. So makes a big difference in the quality that the dealers are seeing, that the customers are receiving, and two, it means that we can stand behind the product better than any other company out there.
Absolutely, and that's what I've heard. So the number one message you hear, especially if you go on Grand Design forums, it's not that they're never going to have a problem. I mean, these things are built by hand. They're assembled by people. They're not, like I like to say, it's not comparable to the automotive industry where you have a machine that's carrying it down a line and robots assembling it, and every nut and bolt lines up in a specific spot. These are largely really put together by crafted hands. These are people who put these together. They know where to put the nails. They know where to put the screws. But occasionally there's a miss. Occasionally there's a problem. Your PDI, before this unit leaves the factory and heads to a dealership, should identify 99.99% of all those issues. Sometimes it doesn't. There are going to be some people that claim they have a problem with this or that. But then the post-care support is really what matters most. At that point, if you have the unit, you're already paying on it, you have a problem the first time, second time, third time, whatever, when you take it out, knowing that a dealership is going to stand behind their product, I think is the message that Grand Design delivers very well. And if you read the forums, if you look at the different people in the reviews who have owned these, that's the number one message you hear from them, is that, you know what, I understand that there's a chance a problem could exist, but they really took care of me after I got the product. and that's commendable. So let's take a look inside of this unit. I already walked around this unit, so I've kind of done an initial video to show my viewers what the inside of this coach is about. But there's some really unique touches that I wanted to ask you about to see what your thought pattern was when they designed this unit.
Sure.
So walking up the aluminum steps. First of all, Paul, one thing that's interesting about this coach is you usually don't see a rear bunkhouse floor plan with an entryway into the master bedroom. It's usually dead center in the middle of the coach, right between the bedroom and the kitchen, and then you will have a bathroom entrance at the very back near the bunkhouse. So I love this floor plan, and this is really cool because if I had gotten this floor plan instead of our first travel trailer, which was a Forest River product, it had that very vanilla, generic rear bunkhouse feel to it. This one feels like a very livable travel trailer. It doesn't feel like you sacrifice anything just because you want a big bunkhouse in the back. So your feedback on this specific layout, what was the thought pattern when they designed this?
Well, a couple different things with this model in particular, the 3170. What we did, we actually have all of your slides on the off-door side, so that achieves a couple different things. One, we can put a huge awning, 21 feet of awning space, and it's no slide obstructing any of your awning. Feedback that we hear often is if you have a slide on the door side and then you have a big outdoor kitchen behind it, often that person who's ever using that outdoor kitchen feels kind of cut off from the rest of the group, the family, whatever. So we moved everything over to the off-door side, so that allows, one, a nice clean open area to be camping under the awning space. You got the outdoor kitchen outside, but also we put 2 entry doors because we have a nice big walk-through bath, 36-inch wide entry sliding doors into the bathroom.
Hold on, let me repeat that. 36-inch wide sliding doors. Your typical door is what, about 24?
It could be anywhere from 24 to 30 inches. 24, 28 is pretty common. And so, you know, for those that are a little bit wider shoulders, they're going to be tight walking through. You can walk in and out through the doorway.
Yeah, these doors are massive. You probably can't even tell that I'm standing in a doorway right now. This thing is simply huge. And this gives the feeling of openness and airiness to this coach that in most rear bunkhouse floor plans you don't get. You don't have that open feel. And typically to have this type of space in a living room, you have to have opposing slides.
Correct.
But look at this. This is really cool, and I can see how you guys have a very deep slide on this side, so it gives you just a lot of floor space that most of these rear bunkhouse floor plans don't have. Now, I know a lot of people think I'm just trying to inflate the ego of the Grand Design guy, but the reality here is that I had a floor plan very similar to this from a competing manufacturer, and the reason we got rid of it, one of the reasons we moved to a fifth wheel, was because of the layout and how we didn't like that. Kind of like he's saying, if you're sitting in an area, you kind of feel cut off from everybody else. This one feels like it's a very livable floor plan.
Right. And we try to incorporate that into a lot of our models. Those that are more familiar with Grand Design or maybe comparing different models, you'll see a lot of similarities in our floor plans because we find a functionality or a trait that we can use that works, and then we'll incorporate it into different models that may be in you know, from a rear bathroom floor plan to a bunkhouse model. But we can use and kind of piece together like a jigsaw puzzle those different features that are of high functioning value to customers. When maybe you can't put your finger on it, those that are more experienced in RVing might walk in and go, oh, I see you did this, 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 and this. But to those, maybe the untrained eye or maybe a first-time buyer, they can't, I hear it all the time at shows, I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but it just feels different. It feels more open, like you said, or it feels, you know, more comfortable, or I like this feature or that feature. So, you know, like I said, having the 2 doors, one, you've got your main entry door here, which would open up into the I guess, main living room, kitchen. And then you have your other, by having that walk-through bath, nobody's ever locked into the bedroom or locked in here wanting to get to the bedroom. You know, you can always go around and come back in. So it allows the opportunity to have all of this open feel, but not feel trapped from one room to the other.
Well, from a living room perspective, one thing that I absolutely love about what I've seen with the Grand Design product is that they focus on putting things in a position that kind of replicate a home. For instance, traditionally, like I pointed out in the initial shooting I did on this, dining room is right here. Sofas are right here. TV is right here. Everyone's head is cocked to the left so they can watch TV.
Right.
And what I've noticed with a lot of Grand Design floor plans, including some of the other ones that I've already walked through, is you guys try to always position TV in front of the chairs.
Correct.
That is so common sense.
Right.
But so many people miss that mark.
Right. That's something we've done for a long time, and there are different floor plans that will vary in that kind of feature that you pointed out. But you're exactly right. The last thing you want to do is sit down and watch TV and have to turn your head, and you're watching a 2.5 hour movie. By the end of that, your neck's starting to cramp up a little bit. The other thing that we've done, even in the models where it's not positioned optimally right across from the TV, we always put these on a swing arm bracket. So even in I'm going to throw out a different model, the 2500 RL, you have your main seating area in the back of the coach with a big window. This TV is still angled, but it also comes on a swing arm. So you can create, even though it's not centered right across from, you can create that optimal viewing angle just by kicking the TV around on the swing arm. So.
Absolutely. And the interior floor plan layout, folks, is so important because it can really determine whether you enjoy RVing or not. It can really determine if you feel like you made a bad purchase decision or not. If you have a layout that you're walking through and it looks super great, you need to spend some time, sit down in it, see, okay, if we throw a movie on, if we have kids playing in here, if we have guests with us, what's going to be a comfortable position for everyone to be in, and can they maintain that for a long period of time? Especially if you're considering traveling the country or being full-time in it, you need to understand, again, the differences between a comfortable floor plan, a functional floor plan, and a luxury floor plan. And I think the Grand Design product does really good mixing comfortable and luxury together, and really looking at functional and saying, you know what, functional is important to have seats to put people, but it's more important that people are comfortable where they're seated.
Right. And it has to make sense. I mean, the functionality and the comfort kind of go hand in hand. If you go one way or the other and you don't have both, or a mix of both.
And that's the key, a mixture of both.
Right.
And they've done very well with this floor plan. Guys, this is probably my new favorite travel trailer floor plan. This is a really, really well laid out unit.